Hi. For a good few years, I found that I was somewhat wary of wireless keyboards and mice, mainly because I've had a lot of experience with regards the various different technologies on the step up, and I had a number of problems. I mean, in the old infrared ones, you had your issue where if you moved your mouse just out of range of the out of line of sight of the receiver, it would lose connection and your mouse would just stop. So it's like, oh shit, and it reduced the area that you could actually use your devices within. The next step up was the RF based ones. They were a lot better, although older ones I had issues with regards syncing between them. They were always losing it. They used to have massive dongles, the cables spewing everywhere, and I stayed away from it. Then you had the next step up, which was Bluetooth. That was one that I've seen friends that have had, like the really high expensive, I should say, rather than high end, the expensive Microsoft and Logitech ones, and they had no end of problems. They had issues with the Bluetooth communications stack, as it's known, constantly breaking, falling over, corrupting, needing removal, reinstall, or reboots of PCs. It was just absolute nightmare from start to finish. Every time they tried to do anything, it would break. They couldn't use it before Windows had booted up, so they'd have to have an additional keyboard kicking around to use, to go into BIOS with and change some settings in case the machine had a problem. And it was just an absolute nightmare. Also, the little Bluetooth dongle that they had could only ever be used with a mouse and keyboard. You couldn't use it with any other Bluetooth device, which meant you'd have to have an additional Bluetooth dongle, and problems would arise with the fact that there's loads of different Bluetooth stacks, and they could all, be in conflict with each other and cause loads of operating problems. I was just kind of basically scared away from using them. However, one Christmas my parents surprised me by buying me a wireless keyboard and mouse set. So I thought, okay, see how this one goes. This was like 2005, 2006. So it's a couple of years ago now, and I was really, really impressed. I was quite happy with the way that it panned out. It's a Logitech one. The keyboard is an S510. I can't remember what the pack name was. The dongle was a nice, sweet little thing which unplugs and plugs back in, and was really nice looking. You'd have this little extender as well. Let's see if we can get it in some light. Which just plugs into the USB, and effectively the communication is between the device and the dongle. There's no software that you necessarily have to install. There is some software, it's called Setpoint, but that gives you additional tweaking abilities. It warns you when batteries are going low, so it can be worth installing, but you don't necessarily need it, and you can use it when the PC is booting up. You can go through your BIOS with it, which is an absolute plus. You don't have to have anything extra kicking around. The mouse is really comfortable. It's very basic, 2 buttons and a scroll wheel, which is how I prefer mice. I don't like all the side scrolling and extra buttons, because the way I hold my mouse, I end up hitting them and loading up additional things, and it was just a pain in the ass, and I hated it. But it's nice and weighty, but it's not too heavy to put a strain on your wrist. It takes 2 AA batteries. The keyboard is that type. Pretty much the mouse and keyboard are the same design as the ones that are out now. The only difference is the dongle. It tends to be an all-in-one moulded unit now, and I've noticed, because I've used that one at work, the range is a lot less than what this is. It kind of surprised me that went downhill a bit. I don't know if the next ones have been better. Certainly the MX Air that I bought has got a lot better range on it. This has got some media buttons on the side, so the main ones that you'll use will be the volume and the mute. Play, pause, stop, forward, backward. I don't tend to use that much, to be honest. But to be honest, the performance of it, being a gamer, I always worried about lag. The latency between you moving it and it registering. That's pretty much non-existent. It's not noticeable. I think probably if I was into Twitch gaming it might be, but then again it's been very responsive. I don't really have that much in the way of problem with it. Again, like I said, the range quite good on it, but one of the best things that came with it, and sadly I've not been able to see this since, was this little thing. Basically, it's effectively just a little mouse, but the button's remapped. It communicates through this thing, and basically there's an extra bit of software that you can install called Media Life, which effectively it makes your system into a media center without having to have Vista on there, or Media Center Edition. And using the scroll wheel on here and the play and pause buttons and stuff, you can quite happily sit in your bed, because the range on this is a hell of a lot more than on that. I don't understand why. And you know, you can be laid in bed. The actual icons on it are nice and big, so you can see it on your monitor, and it really does turn your system into a nice and decent media system. And I was really happy with that. Sadly, I've not been able to see it in any of the packs since. I can't even find it on its own, because that would be quite nice. This on its own, add it into your system, and you'll be able to use it quite nicely without having to buy a full system around it. And Logitech, please release this on its own. It's certainly a product that I think needs more people to be aware of. It was a very nice addition, and including that, the whole package I was very, very impressed with. Battery life, the keyboard very rarely goes. You probably get about, what, 4 to 6 months worth of use out of the two AAA batteries. The two AA batteries on this, as a gamer, you'll probably see 1 to 2 months worth of use out of it before the battery needs swapping over. And because the software warns you, as well as a little LED on it, it means very rarely will you be caught out. You'll only ever be caught out if you're not paying attention. And just swap in some fresh ones, either rechargeables, which I recommend. Sadly, it doesn't have a dock. I know a lot of them do have docks, especially the more expensive ones have got docks you can just plop it into to recharge it. Certainly the MX Air that I bought has that. This doesn't, so you do have to buy something extra if you want to use rechargeables, something similar to this, which comes in a USB. Love this little device. It's basically recharge AAA and AA batteries through that using a USB port. Win-win. But other than that, for my first actual wireless keyboard and mouse, it's basically become my trusty set. The only problem that I've got is when the girlfriend steals the mouse or nicks the little dongle, which might be why it's now moulded and all in one, so the girlfriend can't run off with the damn thing. But a lot of my fears have been quelled with this one. I definitely think wireless keyboards and mice, if you've been worried about it in the past, certainly go for this Logitech one. Just be warned, the newer ones do seem to have a bit of a more problem with range than this does. And like I said, the dongle I'm not too keen on the remoulding. Please let us have the little USB key type dongle, that would be so much better. If you guys have got any tips for how to better use these things, any experiences, good or bad, let me know. Drop over to www.pissheadnerds.com. I'm more than willing to, more than interested to find out how you guys are finding it. Are your Bluetooth ones working perfectly fine? Do you very rarely have an issue with it? Have they fixed the problems that I saw a year and a half to 2 years ago? Let me know. Always interested to find out how things have been improved since the last one that I bought, because, to be honest, I think I might be looking into getting my next one. This one is about time to be retired to my other machines, specifically my TV PC. So, let me know. Take care. Bye.